You're watching the Council in Brief. I'm Susan Kenedy. We're here with the latest news of the Montgomery County Council. Up first, school is back in session, and that means school buses on the road and an increase in pedestrian traffic. Montgomery County Police want you to know they are stepping up a program aimed at stopping a dangerous activity that's taking place all across the county. The numbers are shocking. Last year, Montgomery County Police issued more than 34,000 citations to drivers who illegally passed a stopped school bus, an average of 167 tickets per day.
We are in crisis. People are passing these buses all the time for no real good reason, and they're putting our children at risk.
And the camera doesn't lie. Last spring, Safety Patrol Jarius Taylor, a fifth grader at Flower Valley Elementary, stopped a kindergarten student from crossing the road into an oncoming car.
Residential road, Safety Patrol's kids. Stop arm is clearly out.
And he's holding his.
He's holding, and he grabs the back of the kid's jacket.
He was holding it.
See him right there.
I do.
And you know, the last thing you want is to ever have to deal with for the rest of your life that you struck a kid going to school.
Darius was given a life-saving award for his actions, and the driver received a $250 fine. Currently, there are 500 school buses equipped with the cameras, and 400 more will be added by the end of October. State law says next year the fine could go back to where it was when the program started, $125. But officials say they plan on pressing state lawmakers to keep the pressure on motorists.
The fine's appropriate. I mean, people get bigger fines for parking in the wrong place. So this is of a different order. So I think we ought to support, keeping the fines at the higher level. So I think that, $250 is probably a good starting point, and then multiples, which should result in a higher fine.
Didone says these cameras are life-saving devices, and though there are more than 2,000 repeat offenders, he believes as the cameras are installed on more buses, the numbers will go down. He says pedestrian safety is a top priority for Montgomery County.
No, he blows by the cars, so he passed a bunch of stopped cars for the school bus. My crossing guard is standing right on the corner, just in time.
Oh my gosh. And urges motorists to drive defensively.
You need to expect the unexpected, like you learn in driver's education, and realize that children are unpredictable and children are going to make mistakes. So it's clearly important that you look out for our children.
September is Emergency Preparedness Month. During the month, Montgomery County is holding several events to educate residents, including a recent fair with dozens of resources. It's Emergency Preparedness Month, and officials want you to be prepared for situations that could occur year-round.
It would be a good idea just to check out all the different tents and really learn as much as possible about safety, prevention matters, techniques, et cetera, so I just want to be informed.
The Stop the Bleed campaign is something that the American College of Surgeons, through a consensus, put together. So the goal of it is to teach every citizen to be able to stop the bleed. If you recognize the life-threatening bleeding, the first thing you do is if it's on an extremity, is to apply a tourniquet and turn it until the bleeding stops.
Councilmember Sidney Katz got a lesson in how to use a tourniquet and what it takes to stop the bleed.
In a God forbid event, you have to be prepared. Also, you realize that even though you might not be thinking about it, you have plenty of other people who are thinking about it.
Anytime a tourniquet is applied, it will be extremely painful. That is completely normal and to be expected.
We've used the vehicle for all sorts of situations. Let's take the Boston bombing, for example. We actually had to use the truck for communications and for command and control because it happened in an area away from where normal federal buildings are at. So the investigators, they had to have some place where they can type up their information, to have access to the internet, so forth and so on. That's what this truck can do. And it gives them the capability to get their work done and to go back out in the field quickly.
For more information about other events this month or what you need to do to be prepared, visit the county's webpage. Well, that does it for this edition of the Council in Brief. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kenedy.